Happy Gray May. Happy what else? Happy welcome to our guests. We have several guests in the room today. Welcome guests and friends. Thanks for being here. I'm excited about National Relaxation Day. I don't know about y'all, but I'll leave that for Ashley's thunder. For now, let's get started, and I'd like to welcome me and my grandma glasses to the room. Frank and Kelsey joined us this week. Welcome, Frank and Kelsey. Are Frank or Kelsey here? And does anyone have a celebration to share or a bucket to fill? Steve.
I would like to recognize Stephanie, who got her first listing.
Woo!
By door knocking.
By door knocking. That's like cold calling, but at doors, isn't it?
Yeah, by doing the things.
Yeah, nice work. Congratulations, Stephanie.
At 6%.
At 6%. Well done. And is it already in escrow?
Yes.
It's already in escrow. Congratulations. Nice work. Yeah. And this client's fine. You know, it all can stay in the room. That's okay. That's okay. Anybody else? Any good news? Buckets to fill, shares to be shared, gives to be given.
Can I celebrate you? Kevin King got a listing.
Kevin King got a listing. Congratulations, Kevin King. Well done. Peggy?
I'm Peggy Rose Levin, and I am an agent in Keller Williams San Diego Metro. But I wanted to mention that Maria Pena is one amazing agent. Where is she?
She was here upstairs.
She's getting coffee, which she should be getting. And she is so helpful. I mean, you guys, the people in this office will do. She came to a listing appointment with me with no strings attached. Literally, I said, do you want to do this deal with me? And she's like, I'll just come with you to the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Okay. It was amazing. I just want to say, the people in this office.
Maria, you just got a bucket fill. Peggy just filled your bucket for going along on a listing with her and asking for nothing in return but the kindness of your heart.
Just thank you.
Whatever. Anybody needs help?
She's just that way. She's always like that.
I love that. And Peggy, another important thing about what you're sharing is just ask, you guys. And if you're coming from someplace else, it's not necessarily the typical response of other companies to have that like, ask and I will help you just from the goodness of my heart. I forget because it's been a while, but that's what they tell me. So just ask if you have questions, if you need help, if you're working with a kind of deal that's not a typical deal for you or something's coming up. Oh, Judy's live. I'm right here, Judy. Then just ask for help.
Because guys, I did not feel confident that day. I was like, I just don't feel it. And it's like, that's why I had to ask. It's like, there's no pride in this. There's no pride in this. It's about getting the job done.
Learning through asking is exactly the right thing. That's it, girl. Congrats. Did you get the listing? We're not there yet.
No, she went into bankruptcy.
Oh,
Made that choice.
Okay. We tried to help. That's all we can do.
Yes, we do.
On that note, I would like to share now, even though it's not on the agenda, and Eve loves when I do that, that in August, we are going to have BOLD, which is a business objective life by design, BOLD, in August. Why are you telling me about August BOLD? It's May. Yes, I'm telling you about August BOLD now because we typically aren't the best planners. I know, you're like, yes, we are. Except for Jacqueline, we're not typically the best planners. So what I want you to think of is this. Do you have a closing coming up between now and August that you could just say, hey, Nancy, Ari, could you take my BOLD cost out of my next closing or my next 2 closings or my next 3 closings between now and then so it's paid for and I never see the money and the money never touches my hand and I'm investing in my future and doing great things? I'm going to tell y'all, which some of you have heard this before, and if you have, it's fine, hear it again. And I'll ask for anybody else who has a BOLD story to share. You can't explain what happens in the BOLD room until you're in there. And I know that sounds like hoobie-jooby weird stuff, but there's a moment in the room where you write yourself a letter. And in the letter, you're writing out like your future goals and visions for yourself. Ed, I'm sure you're familiar with that. And in that letter, I wrote to myself, sitting in New Jersey as a solo real estate agent, that I would live in San Diego and run 3 market centers. Be the team leader of 3 market centers. I had no plan to move to San Diego at the time. In my mind, I did, but not in actual reality. I was sitting in coastal New Jersey as a solo agent, and I was like, I'm just gonna write it down, because what's the worst that could happen? It comes true. And so now here we stand, 4 years later, and I run this market center, and I run the Signature Market Center. And technically we have a business center on Coronado Island as well, so you might say I run 3 offices in San Diego. Now, was there a voodoo spell cast at Bold that day that made that happen? No, but what do? You focus on things and they expand in your world. So when you write it down and put it into action, things happen that way. In the mastermind right before this, we were talking with many of our top agents and talking about contacts made. And the reality is real estate right now, is the market hard, you guys? Is it? Does it suck? Was that you, Eddie? Anyone but Eddie. Is the market hard right now? It is whatever you tell yourself, right? Does anyone here need to list over 1,000 houses this month to meet your goals? No, okay. So there's more than enough for everything we need, and it's all out there if we choose to take it. What we have to be mindful of now is focusing our energy in the right direction. So I'm planting the seed today. I'll bring it back around for Bold in August. If you have business coming up, I hope you have business coming up between now and August, or we have other things to talk about, then you will ask to have the money taken out of your account, so you're just paying for your Bold ahead of time and you never see it. Do we understand? Yes. If you've never had Bold before, I understand you're a little bit like, I don't really understand, but I'm not gonna raise my hand right now. That's also okay. We'll talk about it more as we move along.
Where is it?
I believe it's going to be right here in Metro or Signature's office space, and we're going to keep it internal to us. That is my plan.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that got exciting. Okay, yeah. We will invite other people to attend probably, but my focus is you guys. Selfishly, our focus as a leadership team is to help our people grow to the highest level. And I know that we can protect the energy in the room and make sure everyone goes all in on participating and engaging if we're the people that are controlling the room, right? So that's the vision this time. The past 2 years, if you've been here, we have done it across the county and invited others. And it's nice to share, but I'm feeling selfish today. So selfishly, I want you guys to have the best coach, the best experience, the best engagement, and that's why we're looking to plan it this way. It is planned for August. It will be either here or at Signature's office space.
Who's the teacher?
That is to come. I will get the best Bold teacher on the West Coast to teach us. I was asking for feedback from everybody yesterday on who we want, so that's in progress.
And even though we love Cody and he's beautiful,
It won't be Cody. He's been the last 2 years of coach, so it's not going to be him. I want you guys to see a fresh face.
and our goal is to have plenty of top producers in this Bold, so that we don't have an experience like some of what we had last time, and you have enough top producers at your table on your team to captain and learn from.
As far as I remember, yesterday the whole ALC said they're committed to going, so that's what I heard. So just stay tuned, and I want to plant that seed today because, like I said, it's a $799 investment in yourself, right? It does cost money to attend Bold. You're like, oh my gosh, it's also 7 weeks long. So don't buy your Starbucks from here until there, or have the money taken out of your commissions. Either way, the seed is planted. Understand you're registering for it, and stay tuned for more information. And now I'll keep going because Evie is definitely like, oh my god, the agenda. Evie, is it me doing coaching happiness?
Yes, because I don't see it.
I don't see Alicia either.
Go for it.
Okay, so let's do coaching spotlight. Congratulations on Team Alicia to Monty for getting another BREC client. For Sam and Yanni, who have gone under escrow with a buyer in growth. Gaga opened another escrow with a buyer in launch. And Sam and Yanni have another open escrow with a buyer from the Leads program at $910,000. Stay tuned for more information on that. Yep, 910. On Team Deborah, Eric Robinson took a new land listing. I thought I saw Eric in growth. Is he here? Oh, Eric, congrats. And Kristen Pennell joined the launch team. Kristen, say hi. And now Movement Mortgage. I've taken all your time, but I'll still let you talk.
All right, so who doesn't like to work 10 times harder for 75% less pay?
Yeah, exactly.
No, honestly though, we all gotta bust our ass right now. I mean, it just is what it is. You just gotta double down on our efforts and put yourselves out there. Call your database, call your people. If you guys have anybody on the fence and they need to number crunch, because honestly, like, people are really scared right now because of their monthly payments. It's got nothing to do with price, you guys. It's got nothing to do with the interest rates, y'all. It's a combination of all of the above, and it comes down to their monthly payments. If we can help people find homes that fall into that monthly payment price range, they're okay with making the move. Even the move-up buyers. A lot of these people, I don't know if you guys have read any of the news, especially regarding how much debt people are in right now, and you take a look at like all these debt checks that came out over, during COVID and everybody paying off their debts, and now all of a sudden you look at these credit card debts are through the roof. If somebody utilizes their home, right, and may be on the fence about moving up, and they wind up taking all that equity, rolling it into another home, and then using a chunk of that to pay off their debts, that impact on their monthly payment is not nearly as bad as they might think it is, right? And that debt consolidation can only be done if they own a home, A, and B, if they're moving up, we can allocate for that. We can figure that out. We can help them crunch the numbers. So please, if you come across buyers that have debt out there, ask them questions, dig deep, like find out their motivation. Like, hey, like you're telling me that, it's too much, but it might not be at the end of the day, right? Because they might not be doing all that number crunching. And last thing, I want to help all you guys with more reels. Like I've been getting into like doing these silly little reels, and they're kind of fun, right? So I'm gonna put a real quick question on the Facebook page. I'm hoping you guys can answer, because I want to create content that you guys can share and to help you guys out. So I just want to know what your guys' like biggest question that you're hearing from your clients are. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Just answer on the page, on our Facebook page, and I'm going to start creating content to help you guys out. And if I'm not creating it, I'll help you create it, all right? Because I've been starting to figure this stuff out, and it's kind of fun. So let me know if you guys have any questions on that, but please answer the question and let me know. I'd love to help. That's all I got, you guys.
Thanks, Eddie.
Dr. Shane. Reels. I can't wait to see all your reels. Your real quick reels. And Miss Judy, would you like to pitch your open house clinic that's coming up?
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Nice to see everybody. So, how many people go to Stephen Jackson and all the other wonderful script classes?
We don't teach scripts, we teach language of real estate.
Language of real estate. Okay. So, but what if it's not just what you say, it's how you say it? So that's what I'm going to help you with. If you come to my class, it's a week from tomorrow. That's May 25th at 1 o'clock right here in this room. And I'm going to go over the language that you use with your body and your vocal tone. So those kind of things that are not taught so well, it's nonverbal communication. I'm going to have an opportunity to show you all sorts of secrets and strategies so that your open houses can be a great success. And I hope you're going to come. How many people would like to come to my class? It's going to be next week. I hope I see you all there.
Who wouldn't, obviously?
Yeah, who would come?
Obviously. Thank you, Miss Judy. And there's a lot going on, you guys. So just watch that Facebook page. If you unsubscribe from the emails at some point because there's a lot, just maybe resubscribe or ask a question or look at the calendar, because there's a lot going on, and we're here to help you keep learning and growing. And without further ado, our feature presentation is San Diego Market Stats with the fabulous Ashley Lunn.
National Relaxation Day, 90 days from today.
Oh man, I'm tired already.
You're tired already? Isn't that a cute baby? So why do I have a holiday or a special day on there 90 days from today. Why is it important?
That's when the money you need help.
So, thank you, you will reap, or not, the benefits of what you're doing today 90 days from now. Okay, so I'd like us all to be that chill in August. That'd be cool. If you're not lead generating right now or otherwise having conversations with humans about real estate, you likely will not be relaxed on relaxation day. You might be a little more puckered. No puckering. So before I go to the next slide, I want to thank Joe Fair, who's not here today. Nathan, his son, is still sick, so he couldn't be here. But he sent me a clip, basically, that he wanted me to share with, well, I don't know that he wanted me to share it, but I'm sharing it anyway. Joe, I thought it was really good. And Phyllis, you sent me one. I couldn't read the article.
Sorry.
That's all right. Maybe next month.
I sent it PDF.
Okay, all right. But here, let's just start. So thank you, Joe Fair. All told, approximately 1/3 of outstanding mortgage balances got refinanced during the refi boom, and an additional 17% of mortgages outstanding were refreshed through home sales, the New York Fed found. In other words, 50% of homeowners with a mortgage in America have little financial incentive to sell. They're actually disincentivized given that they'd face a housing market where home prices are 36% higher than they were pre-pandemic, and the cost of financing is up significant, like twice as much. So significantly. So 36% higher home prices as an average across the United States since 2020. How many years ago is that?
3.
What is 36 divided by 3? So 12% annual appreciation for the last 3 years, plus 100% increase in mortgage rates. Makes sense why we're not seeing a whole lot of listings come to market?
I've seen that statistic to be closer to 62-63%.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
I would tell you the same thing, but I want to read Joe's words to me.
Crazy.
Because sometimes you guys hear it from another agent instead of from me, who probably sounds like Charlie Brown's mom sometimes.
No.
All right, he says, this is a major point to bring up during today's stats meeting. Owners that refinanced are not willing to sell. Around 50% of owners refinanced or bought. The target group for sellers should be those who have investment property, a life event that causes a sale, or people who have paid off homes. Those are 3 really good target markets.
Can you say that one more time?
Yep. Target group for sellers should be those who have investment property, a life event that causes a sale, or people who have paid off their homes. Evidently, also, if you can see my phone, everybody remember that guy?
Let's move on.
No, it's news. There's a new listing in Arizona because he's selling since he's in prison. That's a life event. So here's our local data. These numbers are through the end of April, so April 30th, January 1st through April 30th of each of the years. You may notice, depending on how detail-oriented you all are, that I went back to 2016 now, not just the last 4 years. Also in the rest of the slides, I've been going back just 4 years. Now I'm going back 5. And the reason for that is I want you to see how where we are right now is actually somewhat normalized to where we were 2018 and 2019. Which granted was 5 years ago, but that's pre-pandemic. The world shifted dramatically in 2020.
Where do we see that? It's the same? What numbers are similar on 2018?
You'll see them in future slides. What I want you to see here,
Not the listings taken.
not the listings taken, look there. How many of you were in the business in 2018? Yeah, I was gonna say, you weren't yet? What did we think about inventory back then?
Whoa.
It was tight. It was tight. We took 16,000 listings, almost 17,000 in the first 4 months of the year, and we've taken what this year?
Half. Half, Eddie. I want half.
Half? Yeah.
This is through April
Through April 30th, yes, for each of those years.
Holy moly.
Holy moly. Holy moly. So to me, pulling this, it was a moment of perspective to go, you never know how challenging it can get until you're in the challenge. Because we thought it was tough from that perspective in 2018. Now, going back to 12% increase year over year at a minimum, really the last 3 years, that number is driving that. The available inventory coming to market is so significantly lower and the demand hasn't eased off at the same pace. That is inevitably going to push prices up. I believe last month I said I wouldn't be surprised to see a close to 20% increase this year. I'm still holding steady to that in San Diego. So the sold numbers, not quite as dramatic. If you were to figure those percentages though, look at listed, how many this year through April? 7,922. How many sold?
63.
Is there anywhere else that reflected that much of an absorption rate? Any year previous? Not anywhere close. And that's just the first 4 months of the year. It's 80%. Okay, so still tracking this, although I may stop because this is expired, withdrawn, and canceled. And it spiked last year when the interest rates started to go up, but it's really normalized. These are not significant numbers. There are not that many properties pulled off the market. They're sold. They're sold too quickly to have to worry about it.
What's the red line?
The little thing.
Yeah, it's not showing at the bottom.
All right. Evie, make a note for me to include the legend. The first red is expired. The yellow is withdrawn, and the green is canceled. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
Okay, so as of this morning, compared to kind of the same time frame, same day last month, what's happening? Inventory up or down?
No.
Down below 1 million, up above 1 million.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. How about pendings? Down. Now, I just said this. This is unusual for an April. I told the mastermind group earlier, we did see a slowdown in April. We usually speed up through April. But for some reason, there's a blip. Okay? The solds reflect what went into escrow in March. So that number is obviously high because we did spike in March. Pendings are down also on under a million or over 1 million. And next month's closings will be down in both categories. All right, next, condos. One more, a huge buildup in inventory. One more condo.
Dude, it's 1,800 properties? Awesome.
Yeah. Pendings, again, dip, productivity dip in April, but the closings were up. They will be down in May, and then kind of the same, similar story.
Such low numbers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so last year, we saw the tremendous difference from 2016, 17, and 18, but just comparing last year, the first 4 months to this year, look at that difference.
I thought we were 6,000 or something.
This is a different date. That was through end of April. This is now through May 14th. I did most of the stats on Sunday. That was the 14th. That's why those numbers, I pulled them live. And again, the discrepancy between these two numbers, like, they should be the same percentage. And it's not. It's showing you we're absorbing faster and faster, and it's accelerating. All right. If this number of listings taken was higher, this number of solds would be higher. very basic terms. If we list it, they will come. All right. Just look at that for a minute. What stands out? The red towers. There's too many expensive homes in San Diego. Okay. Is there, so the green is this year, the yellow is last year, and the red was 2021.
Yeah.
These are new listings brought to market. Is there any price point where we're listing now more?
No.
No. The green is now. Look at under 400,000. And this is condos and houses. This does not include townhomes because I don't use that category, but attached and detached under 400,000.
Why is that?
307 units brought to market
This is for all of 2023 so far.
through April 30th.
Got it.
Is there any way that we might be able to add that to like, something? When looking at these slides, sometimes I get them mixed up. So,
To do what?
Through April 30th.
Like just put like through April 30th, or through, you know, today.
Sure, I can add that.
Somewhere
Yeah.
on the slide. Okay.
Sure. All right. Every price point, we're listing a lot less. Whoops. Oh,
Over 2 million, not.
there we go. Sold. What do you see?
Higher ones, more sold. But that's just because prices went up.
Well, certainly price points have moved up, meaning if something was, again, 12%, let's do quick math. At $1 million, what's 12% of $1 million?
Money.
Okay, so on average, $1 million house has appreciated 120,000 over the last year. Okay, that's just easy because we're using the $1 million, but that means a $500,000 property has appreciated by how much? 60,000, which in most cases would take it into the next price point. So everything's just pushing up.
Well, $900,000 house is what $1 million house is.
Exactly. So they're just moving up, which is why in our lifetimes, probably everybody in this room, unfortunately, we will see the sub $400,000 property disappear. Probably in the next 2 years. Next week. No, not quite that fast, but fast. Okay? All right. So now from 700 to 800 to $1 million to $2 million, all those price points, we've sold more than the previous 2 years, yes?
Yeah.
Going backwards, we've listed less. It's a storm. All right, so the green is listed in 2022. The yellow is listed 2023. Most of those, by my eyeball, are pretty close to half. Most of them. All right, next, sold. Over half. These are just visual indicators that we are continuing to see an acceleration of a contracting inventory, which seems impossible considering where we've been inventory-wise, but it's not. Active houses, this was pulled on Sunday. So single family. 255 in the county under $800,000. Yeah. So say it out loud, Sarah. It's okay to share.
I'm always so shy. There's more above 2.5 million than there are below 800,000.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, 800.
There's as
Maybe
many in
even
the
950. I haven't checked my math.
there's as many in the 1.5 to 2.5 million as there is everything under 800,000.
So I started adding these slides, I think about mid-year last year, so that you could print them out and use them with the seller or buyer as a motivating factor. Meaning, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, you've got $700,000 to spend. We have less than 100 properties to look at. Because I'm pretty sure you don't want that $400,000 manufactured home. or 200,000.
One is every 200,000.
A little satisfying.
So, for sellers, if you're between 600 and 700,000, in the entire county of San Diego, you only have 80 properties you're competing with. It's a good time to sell. Okay, condos. This actually made me a little queasy. And I don't know why. In pulling this particular slide, it's the first time it really hit me that even in the condo market, and God knows we have some not attractive condos in San Diego, and they're $200,000 to $400,000, and there's not many of them. So the title of the article Phyllis sent me was something to the effect of service industry people have already left the. Are we having an earthquake? I think the table is showing the camera.
Maybe someone's phone.
Oh, that's my phone, but the camera should vibrate. Anyway, the article is service industry professionals have already left the coastal cities because you can't afford to live here. By the way, we're a service-oriented city. We need those people. And the next people to move are who?
College. It's educated people are leaving now.
Yeah.
But not in San Diego. That was the point of the article. San
Okay.
Diego was one of the few cities that actually had more college-educated people move, and all the other cities that are coastal, not all of them, but the vast majority are losing them in droves, but they're still coming to San Diego more.
Well, if you live here, that's no surprise, right?
And which explains why our prices are holding so firm, because we're not experiencing brain drain that the other coastal cities and the neighborhood are talking about.
Thank God. I'm very grateful, more grateful than ever to live here. And at the same time, I think that's a comfortable position we've had for a long time. I read an article last month that said San Diego was the most affordable city in California. We won't be that for long because of that. And we already are scarily not affordable.
Right.
All right. Listed, so this is our slide for absorption rates. Last month, you might remember, we had the $600,000 to $700,000 category was above 100%. It was 102.3, I think. It's down to 98. These are scary high absorption rates, kids. Okay? Just the reality. We need to be hunters and go find those listings because listings are still happening. How many of those do you need? I'd be really happy if everybody in this room took all of those. Let's go get them. Because is our buyer going to show up?
Yes.
Yeah. New listings. It's another one to let sit in. So these are the ones that I switched. I went back to April of 18. So now we have the 5-year trend.
And so this is through the end of April.
End of April, April 30th. Have we ever seen new listings be this low?
Nope.
No. No. In an April, it's not. If you're going to compare peak to trough, we're always going to be low in January. It's just what happens. But April to April, we've never seen it this low. And we've been complaining for more than 5 years that it's been too low. I don't know how low that number is going to go, to be honest. But it reflects what Joe Fair sent this morning, that 50 to 60% of people don't need to sell. You need to be focused on the people who need to, whatever the reason
40 to
is.
50% do need to sell.
40 to 50% do need to, and it's your job to go find them. And educate them, by the way, because we know, and maybe if you're new, you don't really know what this is telling us, but this is telling us we're insulated from price drops. It's going to get more competitive. You're going to see more multiple offers. Buyers are going to have to do stuff they never thought they'd have to do to get a house. That's fine. We can educate that. Is that what they're hearing in the media? No, what they're hearing in the media is the real estate market's in the tank and everything's horrible. That's not true. If buyers buy this year, they're going to make a lot of money in equity quickly. If sellers sell, they're going to make a lot of money. Yes?
Yes.
That's why, yes, it's a hard market because we actually have to work. Oh. But you're making more as an agent than you've ever made in your life because the prices have gone up faster than any raise you could ever get. Active listings? I kind of like to see that trend go, whoo, we got a little buildup of inventory. So minute, we shouldn't probably even talk about it. But of course, the SDAR slides that I put at the end say inventory's up 50%.
So that's a 2,500-ish, 2,600-ish?
Yep.
But to date?
Pendings. So this is the one slide that kind of shows you where the pandemic happened. So you see that blue line that really spikes?
Yeah.
For all of you kids in the room who were in the business in the pandemic year, the reason it spikes like that and then goes down is because everybody stopped doing anything in real estate because we had to for about 3 months. Who was operating that? So when I say everything stopped, how many people could go in a house at a time? One person. Not the agent in a person, but one person. And then we had to desanitize or sanitize the place. Doesn't it feel like it was 100 years ago? It was only 3 years ago.
Like, wipe it down, wipe it down.
So what did we do? We basically said, that's all BS. Let's just show homes on Zoom or FaceTime, because it was too much. But so that's what happened. And then, not like any of us thought it would ever happen, we roared back. It was crazy. I think that most of us, was I the only one going, oh shit, we're going to be out of business. We're never going to sell property again.
Oh, yeah. Who's ever gonna move again when the world
In April and May of 2020, who was with me in that?
Everybody was, because we were in the meetings with you, listening to you.
Well, you weren't technically in the meetings with me because we couldn't be in person. Sold listings. So the same spike and then drop off is another 30 or 60 days past that because the data or the closings have to match up. But look at where our numbers are this year. The only time it was lower was April 2020. And it was a national pandemic.
Right.
I'm sorry, a global pandemic.
Shut down, yeah.
Median sales price. Again, went back to 2018. What occurred to me when I did that with this slide is we didn't gain much 2018 to 2019. Like 5-6% was very, very minimal. But then what happened from 2019 to now? Phew! Now, last month, our year over year was almost identical, and I predicted that this month we would actually match, we'd be back to value, and we weren't. But we're selling so few homes because so few are being listed that a couple of low price homes brought the median and average down. Okay? I still predict by the end of May, we're gonna see prices back at where they're at, and then again, I think close to 20%, 17 to 20% appreciation from end of May to the end of the year.
Really?
What?
That's what you think?
How many of you have had multiple offers in the last week?
Oh, yeah.
everyone with a property.
How many? How many? 7. So 6 of those buyers didn't get it. So they get to go into the next multiple offer situation, and 5 of those won't get it.
And then all the newbies that join in that.
The demand is not slowing down. It's just not. Now, the one big caveat, because we're going to be going into a presidential election year, if you have not been in real estate through more than one cycle, traditionally the real estate market does slow down in that year. Because nobody knows, all the financial markets get even wonkier because they don't know who is going to be a new administration. And so that added uncertainty slows people down. But the demand is still outstripping our supply so much that I said this a couple years ago, we could lose 50% of our buyers and still have multiple offers. We're not going to lose 50% of our buyers. Yeah.
When you said from 18 to 19, oh, we didn't really gain much appreciation, it was like 5 or 6. That's still above the national average. That's
No.
normal, just so everybody in this room knows.
Thank you for that. Yeah. The 30-year average is 4% appreciation a year.
Right.
If we just took, that would be normal. We have not been normal in San Diego in probably my entire real estate career.
Sure, but 5 to 6 is normal for us-ish, you think?
No, higher than that.
Oh, I thought you
That's a slow year. That's why it was so surprising to me.
Okay.
We're usually 8 to 10%. Once you get over 10%, I've always said that's not sustainable. We are proving that's sustainable. I know. There's good news and bad news. The good news is if you own property, that is really good. The bad news is if you don't own property, you better sell whatever you got to sell to get into real estate.
Oh, joy.
Okay, look at it this way. Let's go to the average and then we'll go. So, average sales price, well, first, for the newer folks, that over half of the properties in San Diego County sold above $950 last month, and half of them sold below $950. The median is the absolute middle line of where the prices are. The average is the total volume, the total sales prices of everything sold divided by the total number of units. So it's just the average, right? The average house in San Diego last month was $1,324,549. So let's say, I asked the question earlier, let's say we just gained 10% this year. What is 10% of one? Math, you just kind of subtract. So 133,000. Could your conversations with the buyer change when you say our best projections say if you just buy this property today, you're going to make $130,000 in the next 12 months? What does your job pay? Condos, it's the same story. All right. Median market time, it's tanking, coming way down. Why is that? Median market time means from the time you took the listing to the time it went into escrow, even if you didn't put it on right away, or you went off the market for a few days because you accepted an offer and then they pulled out, the next time you get it on. So median market time, not active market time. 14 days for houses, 13 days for condos.
That's cool.
Give or take 3 or 4 days for agents who don't update the MLS. I think it's a lot faster than that. Anecdotally, just knowing what you guys in this room are going through, it's probably half of that right now.
Yeah.
And going down, meaning you have to be running quick. You've got to get to properties as soon as they're listed. Even better, go get the listing and then let's sell it here. Months of supply? Oh my God, it's building up. We spiked up to 1.3 months for houses.
Wow. That is sweet.
Oh, so nuts. And I honestly, we all have short-term memories. I forgot that we had 3 months of inventory back in July of 18. I would love to have 3 months of inventory now. Average list price compared to sales price, guess what it's doing? Climbing back up. And I do believe we're going to see this in the 105 to 107 range again, which is not healthy, but that's what happens when you don't know where to price something because the buyers are so crazy, they're going to pay a lot more than you thought they would.
I just can't help but also think, like, how many people knew about this right when we started noticing that trend? Everybody that's been sitting and waiting, how many now are going to overpay because they sat and waited for the interest rates or whatever have you, now they're going to pay over.
Well, thank you for that. This would be, so one of the reasons I do this and do the slides this way is so that you guys print them out and use them.
Yes.
I have no marketing on here. I want you to put your logo on it and use it as if you came up with it. When people say, well, we're going to wait for it to correct, you can literally use this slide and go, there it was. So how much longer do you want to wait? Because that correction, how many years ago was our last correction?
See, that's a perfect reel right there.
5 years.
10 seconds, man. Have that thing waiting back to you.
So, and by the way, that wasn't planned.
Were you waiting for this? Oh, guess what?
And the last correction, hello? The last correction was 5 years ago. So are you willing to pay rent for another 5 years for the next maybe correction?
And not make that equity.
Well, connect all the dots for him on that. How? Yeah.
Yes, you said they're going to.
10% times 5 years. Price per square foot, of course, follows everything else. But think about a square foot. How big is a square foot? We are really. I swear you did put something in that coffee. So, I don't know. I'm not going to ask a man because it won't be correct.
Love this office.
5 years ago, that much space was $415. How many of you, again, thought that was nuts? I remember in 2005 walking through an 800 square foot house in North Park going, I would never pay $500,000 for this. Oh.
That's 1,000.
It's literally, it has sold for 1.2 since I said that in 2005. It's nuts. Anyway, so $617. How high is it going to go? So go back to what I said a few minutes ago. San Diego right now is the most affordable city in California at $617 per square foot. I don't know for sure, but I know in the Palo Alto area, they're at like $1,500 a square foot. Manhattan years ago was at $3,000 a square foot. So this could go anywhere. If the demand is there, and we know the demand is there, and we're not building anymore. Not enough.
Not fast enough.
Do we know LA?
It's about 1,000.
What, in LA?
Yeah.
About 1,000. Orange County and LA are much higher than us.
So we're 617, and they are
1,000-ish.
And just go online and look at a house and do the math, but
Yeah.
that's what they said. Back when our numbers first started going over 500 towards 600, people were like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And they were like, well, coming from the Bay Area in LA, itself is
Still,
still
yeah.
so is it expensive?
It's all relative. And then you've got the people who moved from here to Idaho who are like, oh, I can get a 4,000 square foot house for whatever. Yeah. Okay. So these are the slides that I put in here from SDAR. Again, just to make you aware that everything you read needs to be researched, like fact check your real estate information. And you honestly are going to be the best source of information for your clients.
For fact's sake.
For fact's sake. New t-shirts coming out soon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, how scary. Fluctuations in mortgage interest rates have caused buyers to pull back. Okay? With median sales dropping 5.2% month over month. Have our median sales dropped that because buyers have pulled back or because the listings aren't there to sell?
Because the listings aren't there.
That is what you have to educate your people with, because they read this and go, oh, everybody's pulling out of the market. Then at the bottom, housing inventory remains tight with only 980,000 units available. I did not do this, I wanted to do this live. Somebody get out Google on their phone. What is the adult population of the United States?
330 million.
Is it 330 million?
Oh, is that total population?
We just want adults because, you know, you gotta need to be an adult to buy a house.
331 million.
All right, so take 331 million. Well, put in your calculator 980,000 units divided by 330 million. Give me that number first.
980,000.
Yep.
We got 1% here.
That's like
337.
980 divided by 30.
0.0003.
So that's 0.03%?
3,000.
For what?
0.03%. Based on our adult population, there's
What percent is 2?
Percent.
0.03% of housing inventory available.
That's a lot.
980. That is not a lot.
What's not?
It's not a lot because what's our home ownership rate in the country? 60%. 3% of people traditionally move every year. So the gap, here's the takeaway. No matter where you live in the United States, the housing market is tight and ridiculously so. So prices are going to continue to go up.
Well, and the builder's sentiment came out today.
And it's up.
It came out, and so there are 1.4 million household formations this year is what's projected. And, 1.5 household formations, 1.4 million house completions.
So we have a gap of a
We
million.
have a gap of 100,000, right, that are just naturally going to form because people are getting married, moving out of their house, and what the builders can keep up with, we're automatically right behind.
Yep, and that's been the trend for the last decade. All right, housing supply overview. Market-wide inventory levels were down 20.1%. Again, what's the good news in that? Because they're not writing this for good news. Somebody state that in a positive. Market-wide inventory levels were down 20.1%. Everything that's listed is getting sold. Everything that's listed is getting sold. It's a great time to sell.
Literally, like within the last, how many years of equity have they gained in the last 4, right? Last 5, like 10 years worth of equity in the last 4. That's not gonna change.
Nope, not gonna change. So, if we've got that buyer, or that move-up buyer on the bubble, thank you for talking about it earlier, if our average increase has been 10%, and I own a $500,000 house, how much am I gaining every year? 50,000. If I own a $750,000 house, how much am I gaining every year? Should that maybe go into their projections? Yeah. All right. And then the last slide, I'm not going to change it all year until probably maybe November, because that should be the next big fluctuation. Total number of realtors in San Diego County, and I pulled these last month, 19,765. I do believe that will be closer to 11,000 by the end of the year.
How many did not renew the list?
It was 15%.
We were big nationwide.
5-0? Okay, that I did not know.
Did not get that in the last list.
Oh, for loan. So what Ed just said, for loan officers, 50% did not renew from 2022 to 2023. That makes sense to me, because all of this data says we're having a tougher time in real estate because the units are down. That's amplified on the mortgage side because they have no refis. And they were making a lot of money on refis.
Well, it was too easy last year, so now they're like, what the hell?
Oh, it's raining. Now you actually have to be smart for your job.
Smart and willing to work. And that goes for realtors too. All right? So the last thing I want to say on here, and then if you have any questions, I'll take them. If you do have friends that are in the industry that are willing to work and are smart people, let them know we've got Plan B here. Because if 11,000 agents, I'm sorry, how many is it? 8,000. If 8,000 agents in San Diego quit the industry, how many brokerages is that going to impact? A lot. And people will need a place to go. Our current market will not sustain the number of agents nor the number of brokerages that currently exist. It can't. I talked to Tony DeCello on Sunday. It was awesome. And he said, how many agents do you have? And I said, 19,000. And he said, you had 1,800 units last year. A whole lot of people aren't eating. Or 1,800 units last month. Now, you can take another 10 months of this, another 12 months of that. So we are doing so much to make sure enough leads are coming in and you guys are skilled enough that you can thrive through this. But no, there's going to be a lot of people around you who are not going to survive it.
And call your friends, because
And
they're
call your
the
friends.
person they used to think was a realtor may not be a realtor anymore.
Time to adopt a database. Okay, questions? Yes?
I just want to make a comment. When we were talking about how list price to sales price is increasing, we as agents are responsible for making sure that our clients understand what that means to them, whether they're a buyer or a seller. We need to educate our clients so that they're prepared when the appraisal doesn't come in, and how do you meet that gap. So it's really important that you have a strategy, whether you're working with a buyer or a seller.
So, knowing all this, what can you do to make sure in 90 days on National Relaxation Day, you're cashing a check? What activities can you actually do?
Call your database.
Call your database.
If you don't have one, go make one.
Go door knocking.
Open
Go meet
houses,
human beings.
networking events.
What else?
If you have a Facebook, you have a database.
If you have a Facebook, you have a database.
MySpace, John.
Evie,
No, MySpace.
can you pull up my email here? Yeah, or come so I can pull it up. One of the two. I told the mastermind group I want to show you guys a video. So again, I talked to Tony DeCello on Sunday. It was cool because he watched last month's stats and he called me to give me feedback. It was really cool. And he said, concentrate on what they can do, not so much on how tough it is. Well, I appreciate it's tough, and I think you guys need to know that because it needs to influence what you do, and you need to do more of what works. So, a friend of mine, many of you know Sarita Dua from Portland. She has me on her database, and I get a lot of realtor emails, so I don't open them all. And Tony said, she's sending out really good videos, you should check this last one out. Yeah, let's see if I remember.
You are on screen share on your email.
Yes.
Yeah, but not my
Not your password.
What are you saying?
Anybody else forget their password? Anyway, so here's the idea as we try to figure that out. Increasing the number of contacts you have in your database, like if you're at 0, 1 would be an increase. Yeah, gigantic, like double. I'm going to suggest that you get really uncomfortable and figure out a way to be in front of whether it's your Facebook friends or whatever, or your database that you actually have in command, wherever you have contact info. Be in front of them daily. Ooh. Doesn't mean you need to contact them directly, individually, daily, but they should be seeing your name and a message, hopefully educational, every day.
Every damn day.
Every damn day. Why would I say that? Top of mind, right now you got 19,000 agents. I don't want you to be one of the 8,000 that isn't going to make it. Whoever's communicating more is going to make it. The ones who aren't. So it's saturation at this point. Also, you don't know when somebody's situation can change. It can change like that. How does it happen? I don't know. I wish Bridget were here. Divorce specialist. Isn't there usually a conversation that happens, probably at night, that says this marriage is over?
Probably at night.
So it didn't happen yesterday when I saw your 500th email, but it happened today when I saw your 501. You're trying to get there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So how do we do that without feeling, oh, we're annoying them? I'm just going to have to send it out because obviously we can't access my email. Sarita's message in this 1-minute video was, I've done you a disservice. I am so sorry. I have not communicated to you clearly. I have people, I'm being Sarita. I have people call me all the time and say, gosh, I wish there was a Sarita in New York because we just had a horrible experience with a realtor. I'm sorry I haven't communicated. I can help you with your real estate needs anywhere in the country and honestly across the world. I know every Sarita like me in the country. So as soon as you have a real estate need, call me. I'll help you. Could you all do that?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's a nice, interesting touch.
It's another reel.
It's another reel.
Well, if you don't have the history to be able to say, I wish I had a you because you're newer, or don't have the transaction base for that, you can just say, I wish I knew who. Like your message is still the same. It's just that you have a global team who you can find the best person based on their needs in the area.
Really, it's just I can help you anywhere. Call me first, and then take it from there. That's one. Peter Chabris, I haven't seen these yet, but we have a lot of intricacies in our market that could take very long videos to watch. People don't have that time, nor that attention span, thank you, for a 5 or 10 minute video. Would we all agree on that?
Yes.
Yep. So what if you did a 5-minute video and broke it down into chunks and sent one a day for 5 days? Kind of with a cliffhanger at the end. Yeah?
Yes.
Your real idea. I mean, CapCut?
Yeah, it's just Cap. If you guys haven't found it yet, CapCut.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a great
Right.
CapCut, CAPCUT. It's a great.
How many of you get?
Reels.
How many of you get either on Reels or TikTok, and something cuts off right at the end? You're like, oh. Yes? Have you, any of you, that's almost every morning for me. I'm like, now if I have a personal relationship with a person, I would either text them or call them and go, well, the ending cut off, what was it? That's what we're trying to do. Get people engaged and touch them or get in front of them every day. Emily, we were upstairs at the mastermind and we were talking about Bold because Sarah brought up everybody who lies in Bold about how many contacts they make. It is statistically impossible to make 120 contacts and not come up with a lead. So if you're coming into the office and going, I don't have any business, we know right now you haven't been making your contacts.
120? Did you say 120?
It's even less than that, but if you've taken Bold, it's 100 a day.
9 times.
Right? 100 a week, I'm sorry. Unless you Bold 100. 100 a week. And so many people come in and go, yeah, I made the 100 and I didn't get anything.
Yeah, believe me, I was bullshitting my whole way through that first week. So
Yep.
I get it. I'm
All right. Go have more conversations with more humans. If you want to feel really good, look at the naked cat at the back of the room.
One thing, those 7 offers she asked me about, one lender called me. Half of the agents never called us. It is not hard to be good in this industry. Pick up the phone before you write the offer, find out what the seller needs, and have your lender call as soon as the offer is sent. These are crazy. So I can call crazy. Every time.
So we'll take a list of names for the 8,000 realtors that we don't want to survive. All right, guys, have a great week. Go find a listing.
Thank you.